I've helped a ton of people get into saddle hunting, and one of the most common questions that I hear when their gear actually arrives in the mail is, all right, how do I actually climb the tree now? How do I set up? How do I do this as efficient as possible? What accessories do I need? So I've got all of my hunting gear with me that I would take on my back, and what I'm gonna do is walk through my process from when I hit the tree that I plan on hunting from. What steps do I take to climb and set up to be as efficient as humanly possible? We're gonna use this tree behind me as an example, and it's actually a pretty poor example because it's basically a telephone pole. There's no branches, no cover. This is not a tree that I would hunt from. To be as efficient as possible, I'm trying to do things in as few steps and as few touches as possible, and here's what I mean by that. I don't wanna be continually handling my bow. I wanna set it down and be done with it. When I get to the base of my tree, I am setting my bow down. I'm not gonna move it until I'm actually pulling it up from the top of the tree. So just for example's sake, I'm gonna put my sticks on this side of the tree just so you guys can see. So my hoist, which I'll link to, it's a retractable hoist. So I can attach it to my bow, it lets out the perfect amount of line. And then as I'm hand feeding it in, when I get to the top of my tree, it's automatically retracting, so it's nice and neat and clean. So that's on my right hip. So if my sticks are gonna go here, I'm looking down on the ground, make sure there's not a bunch of brush that my bow is gonna get stuck in, hopefully not a bunch of poison ivy. And I'm gonna set my bow where this back cam is gonna be pointed towards the tree. I'm immediately grabbing my hoist and attaching my bow, and that's secure. So now I'm done with my bow until I get in the tree. Now we're gonna unclip the backpack. Now my backpack, I have my sticks and my platform. I'm gonna detach those. Immediately I'm gonna take my platform, and I got this clip on the back of my saddle here. It just drops down, and now I'm hands-free. So my platform is gonna stay there until I'm ready to take it off and attach it to the tree. Now I have my carbon speed sticks from Latitude, but I'm gonna take one of the sticks off, bungee these back up, and then I have a loop on the bottom of these sticks that I'm gonna drop into a small carabiner. I'm now hands-free, and these sticks are attached to my hip for the duration of my climb, and I'm gonna be able to take them off one by one, and they're gonna be right where I need them. I now take this stick, drop down the aider, and attach it to the tree. And this new attachment method with these carbon sticks is pretty slick. And now I'm putting my backpack on. At this point, I'm taking out my lineman belt. But let's do a quick review. All I did was walk in, set down my bow, attach my bow hoist, set down my backpack, take platform off, hook it to my back, hang my top stick, and then attach my top sticks to my hip. So that happened in no time. Now I'm attaching to the tree. I'm hooking into my lineman loop and cinch that up. And all you do to use the single step aiders is you put your boot in them, and then you stick your toe to the tree. And I'm gonna grab the tree with one hand, stick with one hand, and step up. And it's that simple. And then you adjust your lineman belt as you go. I'm gonna pop one of these sticks off my hip, bungee these back up so they're not making any noise. And then same thing as the last, you drop down the aider, drop down the attachment method. I'm kind of ballpark how high we can do this. Pull out the bottom, we're gonna seat that. Toe into the tree, step up. And at this point, I would just continue doing this with my remaining two sticks. But for the sake of this video, just so I can stay in frame, I'm actually gonna climb down to my first stick. We're gonna pretend like I'm 20 foot up. Climbing down is the same process, so you adjust your lineman belt, stick your boot in that aider, and it's that simple. I like to pack up my sticks as I go because, again, the goal is to be as efficient as possible, and the less times you have to handle everything, the better. So I'm gonna wrap up the climbing method, and then I'm gonna wrap up the aider. And then typically as I climb down too, I'm not just gonna drop the sticks out of the tree. So we're gonna pretend like I'm at hunting height now. So my bow is still attached to my hip. I'm on my fourth stick. I'm 20 foot up or however high. And at this point is when I would pull out my tether out of my gear pouch. And your tether is pretty simple. It's just a Sonai with a carabiner hooked to it. And I'll reach up there as high as I can, somewhere around my head height, attach that. Now I'm gonna let my bridge of my saddle out a little bit, and I'm gonna hook in my carabiner. Tighten that up. And at the same time now, I'm gonna pop off my platform. And this is the X-Wing by Latitude. We're gonna undo the strap, and all this is just a cam buckle strap. It's a really simple design. Typically I set my platform about a foot above my top stick, so I'm actually gonna climb down just a touch more. When I'm on the bottom of my stick, I'm gonna actually set my platform so I can actually reach it, and then I'll step up onto the top of the stick and then onto my platform. The platform's pretty simple. People do this different ways, but I like to ballpark the strap before I even do anything, so get it somewhat close to the length I'm gonna need. Hook it on the Versa button. And then you wanna actually tighten the strap while it's in a vertical position, and you press down and set your platform. And then as far as the angle of the platform, I like a slight down or a level somewhere in between there. At this point, I'm gonna step onto my top of my stick, move my tether up, and step all the way up. And I like my tether to be right about head height. Tighten that up, and I'm gonna let slack off of my lineman. So at this point, all my weight is on my tether and in my saddle. So I remove my lineman belt. And there's lots of different ways you can go about hanging your backpack. But what I've found to be the easiest way is I actually take my lineman belt, hook it back onto itself, tighten up that carabiner. And now I have an adjustable carabiner to be able to move my backpack up and down. So if I want it at that height, I can do that. If I want it up a little bit, I can adjust it. So now I would pull out of my backpack whatever gear strap or bow hanger or screw-in bow hook, attach it to the left side of the tree. I'm right-handed, so that's the hand I would pull it off, and I'd real carefully pull my bow up, detach it. At this point, I'd pull my quiver off. I would hang my bow on my bow hanger, and what I do a lot of times is I just take my quiver, put it on the same carabiner as my backpack, so it's right there, accessible. If I ever needed an extra arrow, I just pop one off right there. I'm able to knock one and go right back into my shot. I don't have my bow hanger with me right now, so I'm gonna pretend like we're now gonna be packing up. I take my quiver and attach it, and then I don't know why this took me so long to figure out, but you wanna raise and lower your bow upside down so that way your arrows aren't digging into the ground. But I would attach my bow to my hoist here, and I'll link to all this stuff in the description. I would lower my bow down nice and easy, and then do everything in the reverse order. But while I'm up here, we'll talk about some positioning things. For starters, I don't like a bunch of straps dangling around, so minimally, I'll take these backpack straps and tuck it into the backpack and then set it against the tree. But that's typically where I like my backpack, somewhere in there, so everything's within easy range. But if I do need to go up and over or turn and shoot, it's not in the way. But this X-Wing platform is pretty slick. It's kind of a unique design, but allows you to really pivot around the tree, almost like a ring of steps, without having a ring of steps. So again, the goal is to be quiet, quick, and efficient, but then we'll do everything in reverse order. So I just lowered my bow down. I take my backpack once it's all loaded up with my camera gear and everything, put the backpack back on, and while this carabiner is still attached to the tree, I always put this loop on, attached to my other lineman loop. And at this point, I cinch up my lineman belt so the weight is off the tether. I can now loosen my tether and pack that up, bunch it up, and put it into my gear pouch. It seems like a lot of steps, you guys, but this becomes second nature, and you're able to do everything super quick. And then, as you can see on top of the sticks, I have grip tape that has glow-in-the-dark strips, so you can see it starting to glow almost a little bit right now, but it makes it good visibility to be able to see where you're stepping. Step down, adjust, and then to remove your platform, you just cam it up, loosen the strap. And the way I like to pack up my platform is I just wrap the strap around itself to keep everything nice and tight. And then I have this little bungee I just attach, and then I'm able to take it, attach it to the little hook, and I'm good. And now I'd climb down, take the sticks down as I go. Lineman belt comes off, goes right into the dump pouch. I leave the one carabiner attached because I'm trying to eliminate as many steps as possible. But here I would lay my pack down, take my final stick off the tree, and I would package this up while it's still in my hand. Again, I want as few touches as possible, so while it's in my hand the first time, everything is getting packed up. And then I would take my sticks, Wrap those up, platform pops off, lay those on there, unclip my bow really quick, and then all I'm doing is tightening everything down in my backpack, and then I'm essentially good to go. So there we go, tighten these straps. Grab my bow, and I'm ready to go. I hope this video helped. I know there's a little bit of a learning curve to some of this stuff, but if you get out in your backyard and practice at a lower elevation, then work your way up 1 stick high, 2 sticks high, eventually a switch is gonna flip and you're never gonna look back. But a quick run through of the gear we used. We got the Latitude Outdoors X-Wing platform, the Carbon Speed Series sticks, and the Method 2 saddle. And I'll link to all this stuff down below in the description if you guys wanna learn more about it. Give it a click. But thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video.